Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week on the YouTube channel, where we'll be having a look, as you can see on your screens at the moment, Dream Rangers summer transfer window signings by us. We've had a look. Well, there's basically been nothing to feed off of, apart from a couple of rumours here and there so far this summer. We've been sort of looking at some players that could come in this summer. That obviously is a dream. And maybe a lot of these are really out of your price range, depending on how you look at it. But if players are going to be going out, I want decent players coming in, and I feel that we've had a look at a lot of decent players while doing this over the past week and a bit. The last episode that we done very well, sitting on around about 3,000 views. So yeah, I appreciate everybody for watching that one, and welcome to all the new subscribers on the channel since then. But let's get started on this summer transfer window signings. But quickly, if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, very much appreciated as always. So, dream summer transfer window signings then. If I go through it, so first we've went on to confirmed rumours. We'll start off basically because we haven't been doing any episodes on the podcast to actually talk about the rumours that we've seen. So first one that's sort of been there since last week, not heard much yet, it's kind of went away, but I mean we were interested at one point, and I'd imagine we still are, is Antonio Cholak from PAOK. Obviously, we know him very well from his time at Malmo when he played his last season in the Champions League qualifiers, scoring the two that ultimately put us out of the competition. So cheers for that. But I've added sort of, he's obviously who he plays for, his nationality is Croatian. Obviously a striker, 28 years old, which I thought we're looking at somebody maybe going to be going into their prime. He's done well wherever he's been. He's had quite a tough time in Greece, actually, but apart from that, he's done well wherever else he's been. Suggested fee for Cholak is probably between about 1 and 4 million. I've seen we bid 1.8. I think PAOK are wanting him off their books, so around about 3 million, I think is what they're looking for. And then his stats last season: 41 appearances for Malmo on loan, 22 goals. And then for PAOK, 22 appearances and 3 goals. And the likelihood of this to happen is probably a 7 out of 10. So what's your thoughts on Cholak?
I'm not paying more than 2 million for him. That's my thoughts on him. I mean, it's decent enough, mate. I'm not paying a hefty fee for this boy, I'll be fair, to be honest with you. I'd prefer to pay a hefty fee for
basically, you don't really want this guy to come in and be
like a
Morelos replacement. I see if he's like a replacement for it, and we'll use the money we've got for him and reinvest into this guy. I've got no problem with paying $1 million on top of the fee we got for it from him.
But no, fair play there, but I mean, looks like kind of guy that also wants to play a game of football. Stats there you've got there for Malmo suggest pretty decent. But I'll be fair with you, Jack, I think you could probably go and play for Malmo and do pretty decent as well. Struggling in Greece there with the stats and that there, so you never know. Look, listen, he could come over and flourish here, but as a replacement for it, and I would take him, but I'm not paying more than 2 million for him personally.
I think definitely on previous seasons, especially as PAOK want rid of him as well, we could maybe operate in there. It could be a decent wee bit of business as a start off. I think obviously we've seen last season how he could play against us. Hurt us at Ibrox with two good finishes, and it's one that strikes me as it could be a decent rotation option. I think a lot better option in it, and there'd be an upgrade in that department for sure. Definitely. So I put the likelihood about 7 out of 10 because there is confirmed interest for sources that we know are genuine, close to the club. And it's all about a matter of what actually happens in the coming weeks with Cholak, and other teams interested in him as well. So we'll wait and see with him. The next one then is Thijs Dallinga from Excelsior. This is one that really excites me a lot, because just by looking at his stats there last season in the second division, obviously in Holland, you have to take that into account. 44 games, 36 goals and 9 assists, and he's going to be available for between 2 and 4 million. I've seen rumours today that Toulouse in France have also bid for him. It might be more likely he's going to be heading over there after them getting promoted last season. But we're still in the running. It's been confirmed that we've actually had interest in him. I think coming to Rangers would suit this guy down to a T. As you can see, he's only 21. He was in the second division in Netherlands last season. Team get promoted. I mean, look at the stats, and he's going to be working with an all Dutch coaching staff as well. Roy Mackay, who was one of the best for Holland, and I think there's a lot of things he could look at that would make him a beneficial signing for us, and it's definitely somebody that I would take that gamble on, even though in a bottom division. I mean, we signed Morelos for Finland for a couple of million all the years ago, and look how that's turned out. So I think I'm excited with this one. I put this at a likelihood about 6 out of 10 at the moment. It's not really looking too likely, but I mean, this is the kind of player I want to see come into the club.
I definitely agree with that. No nothing to the boy. I've no seen anything for the second division in the Dutch league, mate. So I know that's the kind of signing that would get me excited, as you say. A young lad with that kind of stats. Obviously, it was the second division, but still at the end of the day, got to put the ball in the net. So I would definitely be more excited about this boy than the last boy we sat there and talked about personally. But if that's the kind of scouting and recruitment we're doing for young players like that, then I'll take it. But he's no 40 Jack, so I don't know, mate.
I know when you've got a guy that's, I think his contract also ends in 2023. So you've got a guy with a year left in his contract. He's just done that last season. You can pay a couple of million for him. He's obviously going to improve a position that we need. And I think as we go through both our lists, strikers and attacking players is mostly what will be there because of how poor it is at the moment. Because we sit here with not really any idea who's going to be leading that line at the start of next season. So, I mean, being linked to this guy says a lot to me. Hopefully, what the scouting department are doing back there, and hopefully we can get him. It's looking unlikely at the moment, but it's a guy that can score goals. He can link the play. He can drop deep. He can score with his head, and he scored. He's always in the right place at the right time for what I've seen from him, and definitely gets me excited. Dalinga, fingers crossed for him. The next one that is pretty much confirmed is the youngster from Millwall, Zach Lovelace. I think it's the 1st of July he will be able to join. For Millwall, we'll pay like some sort of development fee for him. 16 years old, he got 5 appearances in the Championship last season, which is good for him and his age. Second youngest player in Millwall's history, I think, that's played for him. So it's nice to see us improve that sort of youth department again. I've not seen much of the guy at all, but with the youth that we've already been able to bring through, Lowry, McCann, King, and Lovelace is another addition to that. So I've put it a 10 out of 10 because it's pretty much signed, sealed, just waiting for the announcement to happen.
Well, no, it's good to see a sign like that, as you say. Don't forget my boy Calvin Bassey as well. Came up here, nobody was. We were all thinking maybe just be a part of the youth team. My boys rocked it, first team starter. There's no doubt about it. So you never know with this lad. I like that kind of signing, I like that young, making history at Millwall with that, which is kind of special. Yeah, that kind of stuff, mate. But just wait and see what he's like. If he comes up here, plays for the jersey, probably will get popped into the youth team straight away. Mm-hmm. But you never know, mate. You never know with these kind of signings. I hope it does work out. Unlike that other boy we signed for Motherwell.
Nah, I think at the age of 16 as well, there was a whole host of clubs chasing him, and we've been able to get another sort of youngster in the door. So, I mean, he's very highly rated apparently, so we'll see how that goes if he ever actually plays a first team game for Rangers or not. But I think it's going to be a developmental squad signing for Zach Lovely, so we'll see when that will be announced, hopefully this week. The next sort of section we've got then who we've both shortlisted. We both sent each other obviously lists to put this together. We've both shortlisted some of the same players, so we'll talk about it now. The first one, and a guy that I'll just want to sign this guy so much. He's available on a free. He's got the experience of the Bundesliga. He's got the experience of playing a centre half, CDM. Obviously for the Netherlands, was playing next to the captain of Vitesse last season, Daniel Udoki. And you see stats for last season there, 44 appearances, 2 goals and 4 assists. And for what I've seen him, he can push forward, he can defend, he's physical, he just get everything, I think, that you would need for that step up that we are apparently looking to make. obviously Ross Wilson loves a free agent, and I think this is the sort of free agent that makes sense. A guy that would probably cost us, I mean, upwards of 5 million, if you were looking at paying a fee for him. And I think it's just a massive improvement on what's there. And for the step up that we need to make to go and play Champions League football, I think this guy fits the bill like completely.
No, it definitely does, mate. As you say, strong on the ball. I like that. Very dominant. And he likes to get forward, which adds a lot to our game. As you say, versatile as well. A lot of players I've looked at can play multiple positions. That's what Gio wants. I mean, good God, I never thought I'd have Connor Golson going up front, scoring the goals, Dundee. But here we are. No, but I like the look of the boy as well, and he's that kind of statement upper kind of signing here. I think everyone that we've got in this list is reachable personally for me. I think we just need to remember that we're Rangers at the end of the day. We should be looking to sign top players and not just be looking to sign just bang average players because they're there for the taking. But this guy here, he's a quality player for me. As you say, he's got the experience of the Bundesliga. And he's got that experience level, mate, as we've just talked about there. And you look at the stats as well. Do you know what I mean? Getting a couple of assists in there for a defender, getting 1 or 2 goals as well. So, I mean, the likelihood I'm the same as you. He's probably going to go to Marseille, go over to France, have a nice time over there. I don't blame him. I'd go for the pastries personally. But no, it looks like it'd be a decent signing, mate.
It's one as soon as we missed out in Doki, I'm like, right, well, Bazoer's available for a free as well.
Aye.
And
go and get his pal. If we can't get him, go and get his pal.
Maybe not, probably not seen too much Doki to actually say he's better than him or anything, but obviously they played together. They played in a good league. And they were playing Conference League football last season as well. So they've got the experience, and this guy's obviously been linked with other clubs. You say Marseille have been in for him, but I've heard nothing so far. A confirmed sort of club. I haven't heard nothing that we're actually interested in him, but it seems to make sense. And I mean, I don't know why we're not maybe using that market in the Netherlands more, especially with the links we've got. We've not really seen anything apart from Dalinga come through that's actually been confirmed interest. So you'll see that as a theme of the players that we've chosen as a lot of players for that leagues. But I think this one, if the scouting department actually had their head screwed on, Bazoer would be a must, to get into the club. The next one then is a guy that always comes up in every single transfer window that ever has happened in the past 5 years. Lewis Ferguson for Aberdeen. Obviously, we know him very well. If you've seen him so much, 22 years old, still very young, still bossing the league pretty much in terms of goals every season. And we've always been linked to him. You can see his stats there. 45 appearances last season, 16 goals and 1 assist in a horrible Aberdeen side, like an absolutely horrible, woeful Aberdeen side last season. He's still bagging that. A lot of penalties, right enough, but he still put the ball in the back of the net when it mattered for him. And a suggested fee for Lewis Ferguson would probably be between 3 and 4 million due to his contract situation and due to the bids have already rejected for Millwall. He had 1.5, 2 million for both of these sides. So obviously, I think definitely undervaluing him. I think he's worth a lot more than that. 3-4 million. Do you really want to pay Aberdeen that amount of money in the same league? Sorry, that's another question. Likelihood for that one's 5 out of 10. I feel that is a position that we need to strengthen as a goal scoring midfielder, and a guy that has done it for seasons upon seasons. A lot of people have sort of been like, not really at the level we need though. I think if he came to Rangers, you'd see him get better, especially with the age he has as well. I think it's one that I've always been interested by, and obviously yourself as well.
No, definitely, mate. Listen, look, you can, as you said, season upon season, but look, the age of 22, and that Aberdeen side for me, well, see if they didn't have a player like that, I think they'd be very close to that bottom drop. I think they'd have been fighting to stay in it. For him to score 16 goals for him, you all right, maybe a couple of penalties in there, but as you said, got to put the ball in the net. I just think it makes sense. I know you say, would you give Aberdeen 3 or 4 million? You would do if you get a quality player like that in the door under Giovanni's coaching. The sky's the limit for him. Do you know what I mean? Think about the sell-on value as well. But no, I mean, I just think it makes sense. Obviously, as a Rangers fan, that goes into it. I think everyone was looking at it. Oh, well, he's a Rangers fan, sign him.
That's pretty much how the links have always been there, just cause his name, just cause who he is. But this probably won't
just
ever go away until he moves on. He's always going to be linked.
If he doesn't sign for us, I think he'll definitely go to a decent enough team. He's too good to go to like a middle championship team. I think he could do it in maybe a top 10, top 6 championship side, or maybe in the relegation kind of team in the Premiership. I think he could do it there, but he's still young, still a lot of time to develop his game. Do you know what I mean? I don't see him being at Aberdeen. Sorry, I don't really think he'll be there past this season. I really don't.
No, I think especially Goodwin coming in as well, he'll want to move players on, although they would love to keep him. I think it's maybe time for him to move on and further his career now, and I don't know if that'll be at Rangers or wherever, but definitely somebody I'd be interested in bringing to the club anyway. Likelihood, I say 5 out of 10 for that one. The next one is Eric Bothiam. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were all raving about this guy. We were like, is this actually like real? Like, are we actually interested in a guy this caliber? And it was all sort of rubbish, and it's all sort of been kind of hit and miss at the moment. But why wouldn't you be interested in a guy who just went for 10 million, has no club, available for free, 22 years old, best pals with Haaland? You look at his stats for when he played with Bodo Glimt last season: 44 appearances and 23 goals. I think he had about 7 goals and assists against Roma alone for Bodo Glimt when they absolutely thumped them. 6-1? And they drew 2 each with them away. So, I mean, not only taking off of that, I think a lot of people, this is where he put his name on the map, was because of that. But Bodo Glimt, for me, have one of the best sort of young teams in Europe. As we saw last season, they've done really well against Celtic, against Roma. And they've got a lot of good, talented young players in that. Eric Bothiam obviously then moved on and went to Krasnodar. Everything happened in Russia, which meant he's now a free agent. And for me, again, it's just, you need to do everything to get a guy like this at the club. If you're going to maybe move on, Morelos, Roof, whoever, this could be the next guy to lead the Rangers line, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you, mate. I definitely agree with you. And that's what I think. I know when the tournament first came about and everyone was like, oh, why would you make a third European tournament? I think it was really good in highlighting a team like this, a side like this. Nobody would expect them to beat a Celtic or a Roma. They've turned around and done it. I mean, he looks like a special player. You've got to be a special player, I think, to be pals with Haaland. As you say, 2 weeks ago, we all thought, is this going to happen? Teasing us, was Eric with it, I'm feeling it. So I hold out hope that it could potentially happen. I know you've got the likelihood 70-10. In my heart at the moment, I've got a 3-10.
You can see I made this last week. You can see I looked at this one last week, because I think the confidence in the board to actually sign players like this is at an all-time low at the moment. But as you say, and I think as every Rangers fan has said, like, this is the sort of calibre of player you want to be looking at. A guy who you can bring in. Obviously, the wages, you've not got a fee to pay for him, so you can maybe offer him more. And you think of the selling value for that. Like, you think if he does go on and play well for us for a couple of seasons, and you can then move him on for more money, then it just seems to make sense.
His power that's just signed for Roma.
Well, I've got him in this because he's not at Roma yet. He's currently still available, so I've got he is going to come further on. We'll talk about him, but I bought him. I mean, it seems if you could ever handpick a signing that would make so much more sense, it would be this one. But obviously, we know the board don't like that, so unlikely that we might see Bottiam in a Rangers shirt. But it's a guy that can offer so much. He's got pace, power. He's got everything that could lead our front line. Obviously, he's got the goals to back up in Norway as well. So, I mean, fingers crossed for him. But as you say, we'll see. Next thing, so onto the players that you've sort of handpicked. You've looked at quite extensively a goalie. First off, a goalie we know very well. His time at Braga. Mateus, the Brazilian. He's 29 years old, obviously. Last season, 45 appearances, 19 clean sheets. The fee is just going to... because he obviously McGregor signing now, it seems like we're not going to be chasing a goalkeeper. So, I mean, if we were, it'd be a good guy to go and get, just because of the contract he's on as well. I think it's about 2025 or 2026. His contract runs out, so I don't see us being able to get him for a sort of fee.
Let me tell you about this guy, right? In the games he played against us, I thought he made some remarkable saves. Obviously, the goals went in, fantastic. But no, I think he's just reflex-wise. I've watched a lot of single. I mean, they do like a highlight package thing. I've seen in Portugal where they highlight actually like goalkeeping saves. I'm just typing in highlights at this point, and it's coming up with just Portuguese recommended his save against Benfica and all that. Great reaction time, mate. As I say, what age you could at least get a good 5 or 6 seasons with that guy in your goal. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry he's no 40, and he's, do you know what I mean? He's not got a bad back. He's not getting to the edge of his career. 29. I mean, look at the fee, 5 million. I know the situation we've been in beforehand, but I'm sorry. What we've just done, you're telling me we can't splash the cash and get a couple of players in the door. But this guy, for me, I like him a lot. I was impressed with him when we played against him. And I just think he's a decent enough goalkeeper that for us, he could probably come in and really do a top solid job. You think about maybe if he plays 3 or 4 up here, maybe go to a Premier League team. You never know. You get a couple of mil for him. I'd take it. But I know I just like him a lot, mate. I think he's a decent enough goalkeeper.
Aye, we've seen obviously firsthand the 2 times we actually played Braga. He was in net for them. I thought, decent goalkeeper, just sort of out of the price range you would be looking at, in my opinion, for a goalkeeper. I don't think we would go and spend 5, maybe
no, I don't. But
7 million plus on a goalkeeper.
No.
Obviously, we've seen him. The likelihood I put is 2 out of 10. Obviously, we've seen him. The board and whoever know who he is. So
I just think about the more than the 2 games he played him under under Gerrard. I thought he was outstanding for them, especially the away game we played them at home as well. I thought he made some great saves, but unlucky with the Giannis free kick. Thanks for that, mate. But no, I just think he's a decent enough goalkeeper. Is he worth 5 million?
Probably. Nah, of course he is. It's just we're never going to be able to afford a guy like that. That's just the way I look at it.
This is what I'm saying. Right, it annoys me. I know we're talking about obviously dream summer signings and all this part. Right, this is what's annoying is we're doing this because literally there's nothing coming out of the club and it's just frustrating. But I just honestly I think 5 million for him after what we've done, that's literally like nothing. That's like, do you know what I mean? For most clubs, that's nothing. I just think it's crazy for us, man, that we're looking at like a League One goalkeeper to come in or something. What are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? That's what worries me. But anyway, he's a decent enough goalkeeper, Jack. Let's go on to the right back position.
Right, I don't know if he is next. I'll tell you who's next. It
is my man,
Japhet Tanganga.
I'll tell you about this one.
I think this is actually quite a good pick out actually because on a loan deal I think this could.
No, that's what I've gone for. That's what I think. A loan deal. We're playing them in a friendly. All right. Now there's nobody who's taking that number 1 spot off it. There's nobody, but this guy here I think could come in and could maybe some couple of games. You've seen across the road they signed that American and he's solid. I don't care what MD says, he's a solid signing for them. I think he could come up here do a job. I like him. I remember watching the Spurs documentary. He seemed like a great character. It was all about family. I like that. And I think he's not really featured that much for Tottenham, has he? I think
he's had a lengthy period off with injury there, so.
He's played a lot through the defence. You know what I mean? That's what I like about him. As I say, a lot of the players that I've looked at are versatile. I know Gio wants players to play more than the one position, which I like about my manager. I think it would just be a healthy signing. Fresh competition for Tav. He's a strong lad anyway. I think he does well with the ball. Got a wee bit of pace about him, which you have to have now as a defender, it seems like. But I like him a lot.
I like him as well, even when I've seen him as a player, and I think he's going to be available probably on a loan, depending on where Spurs see his future. They might want to develop him in the Premier League for actually their use, but I see him more as a centre half personally. If whoever starts that season in the centre half position, to maybe get somebody else in that's got quality, Tanganga fits the bill for me definitely. If we had to look at that option, I think it's maybe a bit unlikely due to who we've still got there. I don't know who will actually leave that position if we need them. But I think in a loan deal, I mean, this would make a lot of sense. Last season, 19 appearances for Spurs before the injury and whatever. And I put the likelihood at 6 out of 10 because I think probably definite interest on a loan deal would make a lot of sense. And I just don't know if we'll need them.
No, that's a true point there, mate. But when it comes up, I'm telling you right now, I could do Ross Wilson's job, and I could say to Antonio, I'll learn a bit of Italian. I say, you give him on loan to us 1 season. Is that all right, big man? Aye. And he'll go, Aye, sure, aye.
No, I think it's a quite a good pick out because obviously Carter Vickers, when he went to Celtic last year, sort of a bit part centre half, always out on loan. Tanganga's still, you can see, the age 23, and maybe one last loan until Spurs could get him back and maybe see if he is going to be the guy they need going forward. So I think it's an interesting one. Very good pick out as well. I think depending on what happens with the defence, could maybe be seen him. Next one you've picked out then is Olaina for Torino, Nigerian right back, can also play left back as well. 25 years old. His contract, a good thing you mentioned, runs out in 2023 as well. So with the age he is, a really good age to pick up a player like him. Can play in multiple positions, maybe between about 3 and 4 million. Last season, 23 appearances for Torino. Also a part of that Nigerian national team with Calvin Bassey and Joe Rebo. And I think he's played at a good level. He's been on loan at Fulham. He's came through at Chelsea.
West Brom are always West Brom.
I think he was on loan at there as well. So I think for me personally, I think if you could get a guy like this in to further strengthen the squad, even if he did have to play left back, it's quite an interesting one to look at just because of the situation with his contract. I don't feel that if he had multiple years in his contract, would be anywhere near signing this guy. But just with the situation, with obviously the Nigerian connection in the team as well, I want to keep that there. So I think another pretty decent pick out with Olaina.
No, listen, I like him a lot, mate. He's very athletic. Got a yell to the left foot on him again, which I like a lot. Always looking to go forward. And as you say, mate, probably if he had 3 or 4 on his contract, nowhere near him. But just learning that for you now, then I'm thinking myself, well, let's go and grab him. Let's go and get him for next season. And as you say, with that Nigerian link, I'm hoping the boys can do the business and say, yo, come over and play with us. Come over and be a part of the most successful team. I like him a lot, but mate, I really do. I think he's looks like a really young, hungry player. You're playing in the Italian league as well, where we're seeing young Scottish lads go over and do really well there and get linked with big money moves to Arsenal for 25 million. I think that's crazy, but the Italian league seems to be similar to the German league now as well, just developing young players, you know what I mean, and selling them on to Juventus or your Premier League teams. I do think this guy here, I think if we could really get him over, I think he would do the business for us. I really would be confident in that, man.
The only question mark is obviously wants to play right back, and Tavernier doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon, so that could maybe hinder any sort of future deal. But definitely want to maybe
but I like
keep an eye on and see where it goes.
The versatility there, as I say, that's important when we build the back line. Calvin's going to be, for a fact, Calvin Bassey's going to be probably having to play centre half and left back next season as well. This guy here, right left back. I'm all for that, mate. I'm all for lads who are playing more than one position, and we'll get onto that very soon with a certain player.
Aye, so I've put the likelihood of that 40-10. Obviously, with the situation with the contract, we can definitely afford them if the transfer market's values are up to date. He's valued around about 3 million. So definitely with his contract running down, they want to recoup money for him. So we'll see. We'll see if anything comes of that one. The next one then I put in for you, you handpicked him from Atletico Madrid on loan at Osasuna last season. Left back Manu Sanchez, 21 years old, Spanish. Again, this would probably be on a loan deal. I like that you've looked at a left back as a problem area, because personally, I've always seen Calvin Bassey as a centre half. Is his predominant position. A lot of people see him as a left back, but I feel even if Bassey is still there next season playing left back, I think another left back will be definitely one to look at. You've seen him in the Spanish league, so what can you tell us about him?
Well, I mean, he's got a belter header for them in a crucial game. He is an exciting player. I know he's someone that Simeone apparently rates highly. He signed him down. I think he signed a new contract till 2025, if I'm not mistaken. Might be. I like the likelihood's 2 to 10, mate. I like that because I've got it 0 to 10. Because I don't see it happening at all. I don't think our scouting department is that good.
That's why it's a dream video. This is like players that you want to actually see play for the club.
I know. True. Some of the dream players I want are away to America. So this guy here, mate, I like him a lot. As I say, he's Spanish, he's young, he's got a lot still to learn in his game. I like that he's been out on loan, lower leagues, just developing his game, playing for the youth system, as we've said. Again, another one, my bell to the left foot. That's what I'm noticing here. Do you know what I mean? Loves to get forward, if you watch his header, for them, he's right in the centre like a striker, big bomb, and the goal was a crucial goal for them. It's the only one goal he scored, and that's the celebration from it. But no, mate, I like him a lot, and as I said, I'm probably going to be similar to you. I know Calvin will have to cover centre half and left back. I'm really concerned with the transfer window so far, but I just thought looking at some people who could play left back's important, mate. I don't know about yourself. Well, obviously, you're in agreement with me, mate, but I just think the two of them would be a decent fit for the club.
No, I think definitely a young left back's what I'm personally going to be targeting as well as we go further down in mine as well. But definitely, he'll probably move on and stay in La Liga. Maybe go to a better
La
league.
Liga player.
The problem we have is that we are obviously a huge club playing in Europe, but it's just the SPFL. Maybe a lot of players won't want to come play in that. So, your next one then, a guy you know again very well that a lot of Rangers fans know his allegiances to as well. Centre midfielder, Northern Irish, Stuart Dallas of Leeds United. 31-year-old still. Obviously, we signed Aaron Ramsey last season. He was that age. He's played, every position possible, I think, for Leeds over the years. And he's still providing a high level in the Premier League. Last season, 36 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. Obviously, cut short with that injury against Man City. And I put the likelihood at 5 to 10 for me personally with this one. Just obviously, we know his allegiances to the club. Always again one that pops up, and I think if we had let Scott Arfield go, I would have paid a couple of million for Stuart Dallas to come in and fill that role. I think he does a lot. I think he is that kind of Arfield role. He can play anywhere, and he's more sort of further forward thinking for me. So I would love to see Dallas play for Rangers one day.
Tell you what, mate, this guy right here is the heart. I'm telling you right now. I thought Stuart Dallas would be perfect. We've been hitting at it, talking about it sometimes on the podcast. I think to bring him in here, the versatilities we've just talked about, but not only that, he gives everything when he's in that shirt for the club. He's a bargain, a signing when we took him off of Brentford. And for me, the 31, he plays like he's 25. Honestly, fitness levels, Stuart Dallas, probably one of the fittest in the squad for me. It's a shame. The leg break was devastating. I'm just concerned with this season with obviously some of the players that we're bringing in. Quite a lot of Americans coming in the door, quite potential players coming in that maybe players like Dallas and Luke Ayling are going to get shifted out the door. And I think if Dallas was to be leaving, Rangers should be one of the first ones putting the bid in there. I'm telling you right now, man starts every week. I don't care what everyone says. He starts every week for Rangers. If he's available, he's playing. He'll play in goals for you. You want a good... He will play in goals for you anywhere you want me to play in the park. As I say, mate, he'll give it his all. 3 or 4 million for Stewie Dallas, I'd do it, mate. I
think I agree with you there as well. I think he just fits everything you sort of need in that midfield for Rangers.
Die for the cause.
One day, hopefully. Hopefully this summer. The next one you've shortlisted in is a guy we just talked about, Aaron Ramsey. Currently of Juventus is apparently going to have his contract terminated and then be a free agent. Last season, obviously, for Juventus, 5 appearances the whole campaign, and then he obviously came to us, 13 appearances, 2 goals and 2 assists. We'll definitely be, I think, in the running for him, but as we've talked about weeks ago, I just don't think Gio actually rates him. I just don't think he's that kind of guy for Gio, and I think maybe that's why we didn't see him as much. But I've always said it as well. I think Aaron Ramsey, just to have him in your team, you're going to be better. The guy's quality.
The quality's there, mate. It's just about, as I said to you, it's the same with Diablo, giving them the time to just fit into the squad. You got to remember, 5 appearances for Juventus. It's pretty bad for a quality player for Aaron Ramsey. You think about all the quality that's there from the company. He's a first team starter every week in, week out. I know we're all thinking for what happened. I'm the same as you. Don't think the gaffer rates him at all. Don't think the gaffer likes him. I don't think he fits into Gio's plans. But for me, if you've got him there in a free signing, you take it. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. I think you look at the games he's played, Hearts here on it with the youngsters, do you know what I mean? Playing the balls through, linking up with everyone. Look at the Old Firm goal. I thought that was, quality again. So for me, I give him a full season. You give Aaron Ramsey a full season with a pre-season up here, he runs it. Absolutely.
I really like him, to be honest with you. I've always thought he was a great player, especially when we got him. Definitely one I loved. The signing, I thought it showed real ambition, and I want to see that same ambition in the summer on a free. if he's willing to take down his wages, if he's willing to come back up here and
I
prove
think so.
himself.
I personally he's going to Cardiff. Personally, I think he's going to sign for Cardiff. But for me,
I think we'll still be in
money's
the
not an
running
issue
for
for
him.
this guy. I don't think it's money. I think it's just he wants to play week in and week out. He's got a World Cup coming up. I think for us, he's a starter 100%, similar to Stewie. For me, he'd be there.
Nah, I think definitely this will be linked all summer until he moves on. I think wherever he goes. So Aaron Ramsey. And you've got this guy you've been raving about, Amin Sarr, formerly of Malmo, currently of Heerenveen in the Netherlands. Swedish striker, 21 years old. I'm liking everything I'm seeing here so far. Suggested fee's probably going to be, if we sell Morelos, I think this is maybe fitting into that category. I think he's going to be maybe a £5-10 million player. Last season, when he signed for Heerenveen, for January, 15 appearances, 6 goals and 1 assist. I put the likelihood at 3 out of 10 because I think his contract is running to 2025. The fact that Heerenveen have just signed him, I think that makes him quite unattainable for us. But in that market, obviously in the Netherlands again, and in the Eredivisie, I think he'll be looked at. I can't see it happening, but I mean, you like him as a player, so what got you interested in him?
Power, pace, skill. I'm telling you right now, mate. Similar game to Morelos. My man here loves a shot outside the box. As I say, loves to take people on, looks for the run, likes to link up with players. Everything I like about it, mate. I like a striker like that. He's hungry, he wants to get on the ball, wants to stardom. I'm telling you right now, he'll either sign for Ajax, one of the top PSV, something like that, or he'll go to the Bundesliga and light that up. And then you'll see him in the Premier League playing for like a Brighton or something. And you'll think to yourself, should have signed him. No, but just his overall game, mate. I like his game. I watched before he signed for the Dutch team. You could see it was there, what he was trying to do. But it was obviously the mistakes were there. But as I say, 21, got all the time in the world to learn. And then he's went and he's let it up. I think that's decent for a young lad in a league like that. Do you know what I mean? Where it's mostly Ajax and PSV or Feyenoord, you know what I mean? Those kind of teams are running it. I think that's a decent stat tally. But no, overall his game, mate, he's just a big physical presence on the park. I'm always, as I say, always looking to link up, get the power, the pace, and he loves a wee goal. So come on, man. I just think he'd like it up here as well, man. I'd take him in. See, instead of signing that boy, as I said at the start, I think between this lad and the boy who was in the second division, they're players you've got to look at. I know you want a third one for you want a third striker. Why not someone young to learn at the same pace with Morelos and Kemar Roof? Do you know what I mean? Pass the wisdom on that a young Jermaine Defoe passed on to Kemar Roof and said, "Here is the book on how to be a striker. Take it, pass it on to the future generations. Pass on to this big man." I'm telling you right now, you'd like it up here.
I mean, everything you've said, it's an interesting one. I just think with the fee that he'll probably command and just with signing for Heerenveen, I think it's probably it's one to dream about.
League. And look at the size of this guy. Imagine him running towards you and you've got to defend him. Do you know what I mean? You'd crap, mate. Look at the physical presence there with him. I'm telling you.
Your next one, then, I think this is the last one I've got, is Rabi Matondo. There has been sort of whispers for Celtic and Rangers being interested in him. There's apparent interest for the Premier League as well. The Wales winger plays his football for Schalke. Right winger. What we need at the moment is a goal scoring right winger. And you can see his stats when he was on loan at Cercle Bruges last season in the Belgian Pro League. 20, that says 27 goals, 10 goals, but 27 assists, 27 appearances,
27 assists. Get him signed.
And 2 assists. So he had a good loan spell last season. I think he was on loan at Stoke before that, the season before. The fact that we're looking for a right winger, the fact that he's young and he's going to be available with his contract situation, I've put it at 3 out of 10 because I definitely think it will be somebody on the radar, but maybe the fee again will probably be something we not want to pay between 3 and 4 million. He might want to go and play in the Premier League and stuff. So I'm excited by Rabi Matondo. I mean, I wish we could sign players like that after having a good loan spell. So
he's got all the potential in the world. I would turn around and say to him, look at Ryan Kent. Do you know what I mean? Just look at somebody like Ryan Kent and what he means to us. You can come up here and you can try and replicate that. I don't understand with the whole Premier League thing and what have you. I just think to myself, sometimes, come on, but playing your game, playing it European floodlights, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. But no, listen, I just like the look of the boy, do you know what I mean? He looks like a really pacey winger. And I think the right side's been something, as we've said on the podcast so many times, that hasn't been filled since Daniel Candeias left the club. Likelihood I like 3 to 10. I'm going with a 0 to 10 for most of these. To be honest with you, I don't see us signing any of them. But I like look at the boy. And as I said, he was rumoured between us and Celtic. So you never know. It'd be nice to sign a player like that.
Nah, definitely young. I think it's been a theme with the list. We like young, sort of up and coming players.
Of course.
And he would be a good addition if we could ever sort of attract a player like that. Now onto the players that I've had a look at and feel like would be strong additions, obviously depending on certain circumstances happening. The first one I've got is the left back for Stoke, Josh Tymon. We were linked with him very early on, a couple of months ago. And for what I've seen, him as a left back, I've been impressed at the age as well, 23. I think maybe the fee is the only thing that's put me off.
I'm not paying that for him.
5 million, but I think it's a position we need. It's a guy that I think if we didn't sign for that fee, he'll go on and play in the Premier League and be worth 20 plus. So I'm impressed with him last season, 48 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists. He can play left mid as well, with the way Stoke set up last season. But I see him as hopefully a left back if we ever signed him. Put 5 out of 10, because there's obviously been links there that we've been interested in him. And we need a left back. So that one gets me excited. And I think, providing if we did sign him, I think it's a decent addition.
Aye, fair play, mate. Aye, I'd give him a shot. I wouldn't rule him out. 20. Who's he going for at the Premier League? 20 million.
Well, when you think about a young English left back,
English, instantly English 20 million.
So say he plays at Stoke next season and he apparently he plays well, he'll then move on to the Premier League and they'll want more money for him. So
no, I think true.
It's the way the English players work, I think.
No, definitely no. I just think my Nigerian boy would be much better. Keep that history level going there, consistency, quality players. I mean, I'd back him when he puts the shirt on. Do you know what I mean? I haven't really seen anything on him. I know we were linked with him. Mate, I like that choice. I like what we're both thinking about left backs.
No, and the next one is also a left back. I've got Josh Doig for Hibs. I think this guy at 20 years old, obviously broke into the Hibs team when he was 18. Hibs, shocking season last year. He was playing centre half and a back 3 last season. Left mid, left back. I think the hype with Josh Doig is deserved. For watching him over the past couple of years, I put him in my team of the season. I think this time last season when we were sitting here, and I think he's always been somebody I've had a close eye on for the left back position. I prefer to have 2 youngsters fighting out in that position. Obviously, Bassey's still pretty young. I think this guy could learn a lot, and if moving on to a club like Rangers, I think he would do quite well. I've put the likelihood very high for this one actually, because I think it's definitely somebody we'll be interested with. We know him for the league. He's young.
Getting Hibs 4 million, but
that's the thing. It's the only thing I wouldn't pay Hibs 4 million from is maybe the most annoying thing. I used to like Keane, Hibs or like Aberdeen, as we mentioned, any money, but I rate the guy pretty highly. I think he's a good player and attracted interest for the Premier League last year. And I think he's maybe went under the radar a wee bit. A lot of people have sort of been like, Hibs was shite last season. But maybe between a couple of million, hopefully. But he signed that new contract last season at Hibs, so depends if we wanted to pay money for him. But I like the look of Josh Doig.
Judge him when he's in the shirt if he was to sign, mate. I think he'd be one of them that goes to the Premier League. To be honest with you, you're seeing him with Aberdeen just get a move to Liverpool. You know, get Hickey linked with Arsenal as well. So you never know. But if we were to sign him, fair play. I agree with you that we do need to be looking at a left back. It's got to be somewhere where we have to. And I do like the idea of 2 young lads fighting out for the position. Joaquin trying to see who's the number one.
No, and I think it's going by the 2 players I've put for left back. It's an area we'll need to spend money on, because we spent money on Barisic obviously years ago, and he's done well over the past years we've had him. But it's now time for a refresh in that position, I think. And right backs always seem to cost the money, especially when they're young as well. So I mean, it wouldn't be harm to look at Josh Doig, I don't think. But on to the next one, I've got Gustavo Hamer from Coventry City. We've been interested in him in the past. When Gerrard was here, he's a
7 million.
He's a Dutch central midfielder. What did I say? Sorry.
7 million.
Well, this is all depending on if we sell Glenn Kamara, in my opinion. I think the way Gio sort of likes his midfielders to work is they can play deep and get forward. You can see by his stats last season, 41 appearances, 3 goals and 10 assists. He's providing at a high level, and also he can play deep as well. At 24, at Coventry, he'll probably want to take the next step. And I don't know if it would actually cost that much to prime away for Coventry, but I know they rate him pretty highly down there. So, I mean, if you're watching videos of him, he can take strikes for range. He's got a great range of passing on him, as you say. He can score, get forward, and for me, with the link of the Netherlands as well, I like him a lot.
That's the constant theme here. I want Dutch players signed. Get it done, Ross Wilson.
I know. Where's the Dutch players?
Jabroni. We were promised Dutch players. We get a Dutch coach. I want Dutch players.
I know, but I've liked him obviously because I've been interested in the past.
He looks like a player, doesn't he? You know how sometimes you look at a football and you go, he looks like a player. He looks like he could kick a ball. He looks like he could kick a ball a bit.
I think this would only happen if we lost a Joe Aribo or a Glenn Kamara. Either one of the two are going to go for upwards of probably about 10 million. Reinvesting that money and getting a guy that's been doing it in the Championship wouldn't be any harm at all. And I think I like looking a lot. And the next one under that same bracket as well, we played him when he played with Midtjylland. He's still there. Brazilian central midfielder Evander. I don't know how he's never got a bigger move. I don't know how he's not moved on to a bigger league, but he played us in 2019. He's still at Midtjylland. Similar circumstances to Hamer. If we had to lose Aribo or Kamara, I mean, this guy's going to be like a marquee, like a Ryan Kent kind of signing if we had to do it. It's going to cost a big amount of money, I think, to get him. Last season, you can see 37 appearances, 17 goals and 11 assists for central midfield. I mean, this guy has always got the flair, the Brazilian flair as well. I can't remember the last time we actually had a Brazilian player. Emilson Kribari, maybe. All the years ago. So, I like him. Again, under the dream category, I would love to sign him, but likelihood I've put 2 out of 10 just for the fact he probably will be out of our price range. But again, it all depends what happens in the centre midfield. Like, we're going to probably get, if we sell Glenn Kamara and Joe Aribo, upwards of about 25-30 million for the pair. So who knows? But Evander is one I've liked a lot. And similar to this guy as well, an attacking midfielder for Queen's Park Rangers, Elias Chair, 23 years old, Moroccan international now as well. Morocco seem to be producing quite a lot of good players actually over the years, and this guy's no different. QPR last season done really well at the start and were fighting up the top of the end of the league and then sort of fell away.
Where have you heard that story before? Just
how do you mean?
Just done really well and then slipped away. Did it happen all the time in the Championship?
It's a tough league to be in, and looking at Elias Chair's stats last season for a 23-year-old, 43 appearances, 9 goals and 8 assists. Probably cost again a bit of a fee to get this guy away, but I'm expecting Joe Aribo to move on this summer. I'm expecting us to replace that with quality, and I think this is.
I'm telling you right now, guy. He's not leaving. Mate, see if he's a quality player, Michael Beale ain't letting him go.
I know this is all it's down to.
Congratulations, by the way, Michael. Publicly, congratulations. I hope you do a tremendous job. I'll be watching this season. No, am I doing a podcast with Ross Wilson here? You're looking at Championship players for?
Because you can look. Joe Aribo came for the Championship and look how
well
he's done.
I want Lionel Messi in it. No, I was joking. No, he's Moroccan. So
I just think
it's 5 million for him.
How not?
I'm paying 5 million for a Championship player.
Go watch videos of him. He's
43 appearances, 9 goals and 8 assists.
And probably the most tightly contested league I think he's played with QPR for a couple of seasons now, but he's still
Aye.
young. He's at that age, I think,
So,
where
but is
he's
that
probably due a
overall
move.
after a couple of seasons, 9 goals and 8 assists?
No, this is last season stats.
Right, last season stats, right, cool. You want to go and take a look at some of the players that sat on the bench for us and their stats in the championship when we were down there, playing
This,
Belgium.
to me, this guy's a lot different. This guy's going to move on and probably play at a high level. And I see him as a very attainable player if we had to, cause he plays in the
For 5
championship.
million.
I think he'd be a good addition.
No, for 5 million.
Next one is the
I'll
guy
take him. I'll take this guy.
who is probably going to be suggested all summer, depending on where he goes. Amad Diallo. Obviously, you see the photo of him there last season when he played with us at Manchester United, still 19. Another loan, I think, would benefit Amad Diallo a lot. It would benefit me anyway, because I want to see this guy back. 13 appearances, 3 goals for Rangers, and a likelihood in 9 out of 10. I think the fact that he started the Scottish Cup final says a lot about how he developed in his time at Ibrox. By the end of it, I think Gio could rely on to throw him in, and he would provide a threat. And I think with another season under his belt, it will benefit us to have a guy of that quality, and he'll be more suited to the right wing position. He won't be like just completely banished through the squad. I think he's ready for that step now, and it'll benefit Man United as well because they'll get a better player back in return, I think, when him playing with us. So I think definitely. I just want to see Diallo back this summer.
No, listen, I would have. I hope he comes back as well. I like that he's took the advice and he's having a Kobe summer. He's working. I'm seeing that on his Instagram. He's putting the work in. Meanwhile, my boy Fashion's just chilling, enjoying life, being a dad. Which fair play, respect, but work on that finishing, son. Link up play, finishing. Come on. No, I would love to see him back. I mean, 19. He's in for 2 years. Man United are a mess. They're not signing MD and all. So it's all depending on how their new coach probably rates him with the first pre-season, what have you. You never know, but towards the end of the season, mate, he was finding himself. He was feeling comfortable. I would definitely take him back for another season.
And I just want him to continue that. So I think in a problem position as well, welcome Amad Diallo back with open arms, I think. The next one is the guy we touched on earlier on in the video, Ola Solbakken. Heavily linked with Roma, but nothing apparently has happened as of yet. Galatasaray in for him as well. He would be a free agent, which again, all these guys for Bodo Glimt seem to be a free agent. I think maybe his contract runs out because their season works a weird way. It'll be like December. He's a free agent, if you get me. So we'd maybe be able to get him for $1 million or $2. Because their season's ongoing now, and last season 33 appearances, 12 goals and 9 assists in all competitions, and that was in obviously the Conference League as well. At 23, right winger, tricky. We've seen him obviously light Selly Cup last year in that competition as well, and shush their fans when he scored. So I mean,
got to sign him for that.
I think he'll probably move on to Roma though. Bit of looks at it. He'll maybe go to a bigger league, but I think why wouldn't you be interested in a guy like this? Solbakken is a dream signing for me, definitely. And then the next one, I've followed this guy for a couple of seasons for FC Lorient. Terem Moffi, another Nigerian, and the list, a striker, 23 years old, and this is basically a Morelos replacement. We've heard stories of Morelos maybe going to Sevilla, and teams have been interested in him. If he's not going to sign the contract, we maybe will need to cash in this summer, even though we all don't want to. It might be the time for Morelos to leave. I think replacing him with a guy like this, playing in League One for about 8 and 10 million, you're expected maybe to get about that for Morelos, maybe about 12 million, depending on his who's willing to pay that for him.
But for Morelos?
With a year on his contract, I feel
50 million.
Obviously that's how we value him. But everybody else, I mean, it's tough. We've left ourselves in that position where we won't get the 16 million plus that Lille offered us 2 seasons ago, which is annoying. Depending on if he signs a new contract, I mean, you can tear him off, he can go in the bin. But if we had had to sell Morelos. I like the look of this guy, 38 appearances, 8 goals and 4 assists last season. And one of them came against PSG as well. And he just has that everything about him up front. He's got the pace, power. He's always in the right position. He scores scrappy goals. He can score for the spot. He can sort of do everything. And I like him as a player. I've followed him for a couple of years now, and surprised he's not moved on. His contract situation would benefit a team like us going for him as well, because he would probably be a 20 million plus player, let's be honest, in that league. And I think to pick him up for a fee like that for a Morelos replacement, I like it.
No, I like the, the French league isn't, as I know people like to call it a farmers league, but it's not a farmers league really. Most of the best players that end up in the Premier League come from the French league. So I like the look at that there, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's a difficult league to score some goals in, compared to one or two of the lads I looked at. But I like the look at that. I can't believe that.
Only
if worth millions, man. Morelos is worth everything. I
know that's the thing. Morelos is literally irreplaceable for us, but we're in that position this summer where it's annoying. We'll move on for this one, and we've got another Netherlands striker, Joshua Zirkzee. This guy I think he was in like the top 10 list for the most goals and assists or something last season. I seen a stat about him earlier on. 21 years old, striker. It would be a loan if obviously Bayern aren't going to receive a fee for him this summer. And like last season, 45 appearances, 18 goals and 13 assists. I see this one just similar to the Amad Diallo one. I just never thought we would get a player like that on loan. And again, I'm using this sort of Dutch connection to a high degree. Bayern Munich, Roy Mackay, there's connections that can make this one maybe work on loan.
Get the Dutch players signed, Ross. Get them signed. That's all you've had to do all summer, is sign Dutch players. Where are they?
And just by looking at this guy, I like him. I like him a lot, actually. Obviously, probably fantasy land we're living in at the moment, but I definitely, if we could get him in, there's things that could work in our favour for him.
Anybody else?
I think I've got 2 more left. Cameron Archer for Aston Villa. English striker, 20 years old. He was on loan at Preston last season, where he made 24 appearances, 13 goals and 3 assists. Aston Villa, he only played in the Cup, I think, and get 5 appearances and 4 goals. So at 20 years old as a forward.
20-year-old and he's got 13 goals in the Championship. That's
and he's apparently rumoured to have a pretty big career ahead of him. So to get this guy maybe on loan for this season could be good. Well, there's been links, I think, about this one, about Cameron Archer coming on loan to Rangers. 7 out of 10 likelihood for this one to happen, because obviously the links are there. We're needing forward players. This guy could definitely fit the bill with that, and I like it a lot. And I think the last one I've got, and basically the main guy I would love to see us sign this summer, Lois Openda for Club Brugge, on loan at Vitesse last season, where he made 39 appearances, 23 goals and 5 assists. 22 years old, on the last year of his contract. Club Brugge are signing Andy Carroll. He's failed his medical or something, I seen, and Benica Phoebe, and they're trying to replace this guy. Charles the Kettler is away to Leeds. Noah Lang linked with Leeds. So Club Brugge seem to be going on a fire sale this summer. And this guy, for me, making his Belgian debut as well over the international break there. And talking to a few on Twitter, apparently he would be available for between 8 and 10 million. So again, if Morelos leaves, you've got a replacement right there. I think this guy would be sensational.
I like that kind of signing, mate. I really do. I like that kind of. The main thing that I think I'm looking at what we've done, really, do you know what I mean, is probably what the board should be doing. Is scouting and looking for young, hungry players coming up. Do you know what I mean? Looking at maybe the Belgian league, we've looked at, do you know what I mean? Dutch league, you know what I mean? You looked at these kind of Norwegian, you know what I mean? Leagues where probably there's not that much attention on them, like from your eyes point of view, where you should be looking in and going to get players like that. Do you know what I mean? That's still impressive to do that in the Dutch league, as I say. Well, sorry, Club Brugge or what have you, but that's still impressive to get that many goals and what have you. I like that kind of signing, mate. But yeah, again, I don't want Morelos to leave, man.
No, it would take big money to get him away. We're apparently going to be receiving big money. We have big money, surely, sitting about. It's a guy, all of these sort of players that we've put on our shortlist today, and not to say any of these are even going to happen. These are just us thinking, nah, I think he could do a job. What, sorry?
Sorry, aye. What happened to the boy that's about Jurgen Berlin?
How do you mean?
Aye, what's his name again?
Oh, Daniel Udoki.
Aye, I like him. He looks like a Leon Balogun sort of replacement he would have been, but I'd rather just sign Balogun on a 1-year extension, but I liked him. But no, mate, sorry to cut you off, but I think you're just going to probably say what I was saying. Look, should we just looking at young players? Should we be looking at young potential players that could come in for us for a couple of seasons and then potentially sell them on? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I find that so far, I know, but when's the window closed? What, September or something? Apparently.
Yeah, September. So I mean,
I know there's plenty of time still for there to be signings, what have you, but just seeing McGregor signing that 1-year extension and then Leon Balogun doesn't get one leaves a bitter taste in my mouth personally. And I think Balogun was one of the best players in the Scottish Cup final game. But no, I mean, I did want to also shout out Bale, but he's away to America, which I can respect. I respect Gareth Bale's career past. Scored probably in my eyes watching a Champions League final against Champions League goal. I've ever seen into your mob, so sorry about that, mate. But no, I'd love to have had him and Ramsey up here. But at the end of the day, mate, I hope we make some signings at least, because I honestly thought we'd sell a couple of these players on for decent money. I know Kamara's been linked with Brighton. We were talking about a 15 million bid for Kamara. I'd let him go 100% for 15 million. Joe Rebo, for me, I'd love to just keep Joe for maybe 1 or 2 more seasons. But no, man, you need to at least be looking to sell 3 or 4 of these players on. That aren't Morelos. I could name you. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's at the moment it's concerning.
It's concerning because us as fans were told by the actual hierarchy at the club that money that's going to be received with players and all that will all be reinvested into the squad, and we've yet to even see it. The only player we spent a transfer fee on the past 2.5 seasons was Mateusz Zukowski for Poland. That the Polish right back, a young guy, is the only person we've actually paid any money for in 2.5 seasons, I believe. Roof. When was that? 2 seasons ago now. So Roof and Itten all came in for cash, but then I think it was the last maybe 1.5 seasons. We've only paid money for Zukowski, which again is alarming with the amount of money we've received through Europe. Patterson deal, Gerrard compensation. There's money surely to be there, and kit sales, season ticket sales, everything is there, and we just don't seem to be signing MD. We've not been linked with MD, which I think is maybe annoying. There's not really been anything to sort of clutch onto and sort of really go into. That's why there's only 3 players on this full list that have actually been confirmed. You would expect a lot more so far, but the whole point of the video was just us having a deep dive into the world of football, seeing players that we like that maybe be attainable for the club, that would definitely improve the team. And you look at a guy like that on the screen as we finished off on there. Like he's going to obviously cost a pretty penny, but then you think about the stats he's had in the Dutch league. I have no question that guy would come up here and bag goals and be just a threat in Europe and pushes on and earn us even more money, because that's apparently the cycle we need to be in. It's not all about getting free transfers and selling them on. I mean, paying money and risking that money, and then it can. If you're going to pay the money,
you paid for Cedric, and you've got to be able to pay money for a player like that you know could potentially be top quality, and then the selling values we're saying here. But I just think me and you've done a better. Do you know what I mean? As we're raving before we even signed John Lundstrom, that John Lundstrom would come up here and he would do a job. And you know what I mean? Everyone, he's not hanging. Now we all love him. We adore him. I'm telling you right now, Stewie Dallas came up here, he'd boss it. And some of these players on this list that we've highlighted, I really do think they would come in and really sort the team. They would come in and do a decent job. I would love Diablo to come in. I definitely think that one's going to happen. I've got just a confident feeling he'll be at the club next season. I'd love to sign that boy that I put in the list. I'm telling you right now, I think he'd boss it up here. Even this guy here, he looks like a quality player. Look at that pose. You not love that smile? Come on.
No, it's just that hopefully we start to see links now that the players are back in pre-season training now. We hopefully start to get to work, sign some players and improve this team and hopefully go for everything next season.
Nobody for Sunderland though.
I feel like Gio's done enough to be able to warrant a transfer kitty. I mean, the guy's been here, he's had one window and he's got 3 loans out of it. Like, we need to back the guy and get him his own players in, and I really do hope that happens soon, and I hope we don't start fanning about and we're in a good position ahead of these Champions League qualifiers, ahead of the start of the league, which is vastly approaching as well. And hopefully some of these targets actually seem seeing my Rangers shirt, but we'll see. And that's pretty much the end of the video.
Whoa. The most important player that we should have had on this list wasn't on this list, Jack.
How's that?
You know who that is, Mr. Greggy Stewart, Mr. Enthusiasm himself. Should be on this list. Ballon d'Or candidate, World Cup year. I'm just saying.
No. I know. Obviously, if we could, we would, and we know we'd do a job. So, Greg Stewart, hopefully one day buying a Rangers shirt. But that is the end of the video. If you did enjoy who we had sort of had a look at, if you think the same thoughts, if you think MD differently, we've
tell us your thoughts.
Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Tweet us on Twitter at EverySatu1. And I get involved with the conversation. Hopefully we can go through the pain together. No transfer rumours, no signings, and hopefully we're at the end of that wait soon. Hopefully over the next couple of weeks. So if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel again, very much appreciated, and we'll see you in the next video.